heard 1,000 times like, oh, Portuguese sounds like a drunk Russian speaking Spanish. In Portugal, we say Porto.
In Russia, we say Port.
Oh.
That's so similar.
I guess you can pronounce every sound because, you know, like...
I'm not sure.
Like jogar.
Jogar.
Wow, that's crazy.
Maybe I should learn Portuguese.
Hello.
Hello.
That's a good question. I think it definitely sounds similar.
I think some of it sounds similar, but not like the language in general, maybe?
Yeah, I'm guessing the language itself, like maybe the way you guys use certain words is
I
different.
think the letters, you know, how they sound, maybe that's the similarity.
Exactly, like the sounds itself, I think they're different, but then I don't know why, but when you
know, when people speak Russian or Portuguese, maybe that's why they can hear it, you know, kind of the similarity because of the sound.
It could be. I don't know, when I hear a Russian person speak, I don't automatically think, oh, this sounds like Portuguese.
Yeah, that's true, true.
Yeah, I don't think about it, but I can see why some people say it.
Yeah, that's true. I can also understand.
Have you heard Portuguese from Portugal?
I don't know.
I mean, I've heard Russian many times. I have a few Russian friends, so that's why.
Don't really have many friends from Portuguese. That's why I didn't really hear like a lot, but like, you know, maybe in some programs or like interviews. Yeah, definitely, but like not in person, to be honest.
Okay. I've never heard the Russian alphabet, so I don't know how different it is.
It's kind of long though.
It's longer?
I think it's kind of long.
Really? Okay, so the Portuguese alphabet goes like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
I'm not even sure if I can remember the whole alphabet, but A, B, V, G, D, E, J, Z, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, V.
Okay.
Something like that.
But it's shorter, right?
I'm not sure. Because, you know, like I cannot actually define what is one sound and what is another letter, you know?
Ah, okay. From mine.
Yeah, that's why.
I had the same problem with your alphabet.
Because I'm like, oh, is it like the same letter or is it already another one? So...
It was my first time hearing the Russian alphabet.
Oh, for me too.
There's some interesting sounds.
That's true. I was also like... It sounds like a mix of Russian and English, something like in between,
really?
You know? I don't know why, but like I kind of have a feeling like that.
For me, yours sounded super unique. Like I've never heard this before.
I mean, maybe it's because I was kind of fast.
Can you read your alphabet just one more time?
Okay, I will just read the beginning of it, so maybe you can try to compare. A, B, V, G, D, Y, J, Z.
That's interesting, the J and Z.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a very, for me, Portuguese sound because it's like closed mouth and like you don't pronounce a big vowel.
Actually, I think like even like other countries, you know, when I ask them to try to pronounce this kind of sounds, when they don't have in their alphabets, they just can't. They're just like, I don't know how to make it sound like that.
Ah, really?
Can you also like maybe try your alphabet one more time
so
I can...
the beginning of our alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Oh, K is also similar because we also have...
Wow, okay.
They're actually similar.
Yeah, there's very similar sounds, very unique sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
That I've never heard in any other language except for Portuguese and I guess Russian.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
I also didn't heard it before.
Okay, I think the main reason for the similarities would be probably like some very niche sounds that you can only find in our languages, which I didn't know that I just heard. Like
I also didn't know like J, Z, G.
That's, oh my god, that's crazy.
That's true. I didn't know it neither like about the Portuguese as well.
I think you'll be able to pronounce Portuguese words super easily.
I'm not sure.
Like jogar.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Maybe you should try one more with my language.
Okay.
Жизнь. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. What did it mean though?
Jogar means play.
Oh, okay. Mine meant life.
Can you say gostar?
Gostar.
Wow.
I don't know what it means.
It means to like.
Maybe I should learn Portuguese.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I guess you can pronounce every sound because, you know, like whenever I hear a foreigner speak Portuguese from Portugal, I really respect when someone's learning it because it's hard, but they never quite get the pronunciation very correctly.
I think in every language, when you try to learn new language, you know, the pronunciation is the biggest problem. Because when it's like too different, like, yeah, I also appreciate when people try to learn it, but I'm like, I don't think you can like actually pronounce like a native.
Yeah, like a native.
Because like in English, I don't think there are like many different sounds to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like in other languages like Portuguese and Russian, I think they're like a little bit more unique, you know?
Like I feel like for German and French, which are languages that I speak, it's not easy, but with a few years practice, especially if you have like friends from that country and you listen to it a lot, you can definitely get the pronunciation very well down.
Like almost like a native
speaker.
Almost
like a native. But Portuguese from Portugal, I've met people that have been learning it for like many years.
Yeah. And
then,
still there's
like,
something missing?
Exactly, like if they were in Portugal and I was talking to them on the street, I would know, okay, this is a foreigner.
Oh, so like you can define them like easily, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think same for me though. I mean, like it's not really easy to speak Russian like a native. Even when you're really, really good at it, you still can sound like, you know, even like the vowels, they're like different when like a foreigner speaking it. So, I mean, yeah, not easy. Okay, so I also heard that Brazil, they also speak Portuguese, but it sounds more like Spanish.
Yeah, I agree actually. I mean, I think it's because of these very specific sounds that we just talked about. They don't have it because they pronounce everything so clearly. Like when you said gostar or jogar, they would say like jogari or gostari.
Oh, it really sounds like Spain though.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but it's kind of like that.
I mean, you tried.
Well, I think like because you guys have this very like closed mouth pronunciation.
Yeah, right.
And we also have it. I think Brazil's Portuguese is really different in that sense.
Like the language itself is the same, but like the pronunciation is different.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the language is the same, but of course, since our countries are kind of far away, we use the same words sometimes for different things.
Oh,
some words could have different meanings.
That's also interesting though. I thought just the pronunciation is different, not like the words that you use itself.
Yeah, exactly. Since, as I said, they pronounce everything so easily and like so openly, I think that's why they sound more like Spanish.
That's interesting.
Olá, sou Miguel, tenho 20 anos e sou do Porto, em Portugal, e cresci no Porto e vivi um ano na Tailândia e agora vivo aqui на Coreia do Sul.
Sounds cool. I have no idea what you said. Всем привет, меня зовут Тая, я из России, и мне 25 лет, и на данный момент я обучаюсь в Южной Корее, в университете.
Oh.
Sounds similar?
I mean, when I listen to you speak, I don't think it sounds like Portuguese, but I can see why people hear it. If they don't understand both languages. Because, like you said, the end of what you said, like, the university.
Yeah, right.
It's like...
You understand the part about university, though.
I mean, just some words, but like, it could be, because it's, I don't know. I don't want to say it sounds similar, but at the same time, I can understand it.
I think because of these sounds, because like the one that we just talked about, we actually use them a lot, like in a sentence as well, like in words. So that's why maybe because of these sounds, since you also used it kind of a lot in your sentence right now when you were introducing yourself, so maybe that's why people think that it sounds kind of similar.
How would you pronounce my country? When we say our country, we say Portugal.
We say Portugal.
And can you try to copy me? Portugal.
Portugal.
Wow, that's really cool. Really, like, and many people have a lot of difficulties with this.
How do you pronounce Russia though?
Russia.
Russia?
Russia.
Russia. It doesn't even sound similar.
How do you pronounce Russia?
Россия.
Okay, it's not that bad. Ok, portanto, aqui onde nós estamos está bastante frio. A máxima para hoje são 3 graus e acho que à noite vão estar 3 graus negativos, portanto temos de nos agasalhar muito. Eu trouxe imensos casacos e até trouxe cascola e luvas, vocês não vos passam o frio que está lá fora.
Okay, so what did you just say?
I just talked a little bit about the weather and it's so cold and I have to wear a few jackets.
Насчет сегодняшней погоды, мне кажется, что достаточно похолодало в Корее. Несколько дней назад шел снег, а сейчас снова по мне уже не так холодно и на улице наоборот вы можете носить пальто, поэтому рекомендую приезжать в Корею тем, кто хочет, может быть, посетить ее.
Do you speak fast for a Russian speaker?
Yeah, I usually speak like that.
And do you think other Russian people would think that you speak fast, or do you think you speak like average?
I think it depends on the city.
Oh, really?
Because usually people from Moscow or St. Petersburg, they are used to speak like fastly. I don't know why. They sound like more fast.
Are you from one of those
I'm
cities?
from Moscow, yeah. So that's why, because like other people from like smaller cities, I don't know, like I think they're more chill, so that's why they don't really speak too fast. But people from big cities, they just like, you know, like in a rush every time, in a hurry. So that's why maybe the language itself is also like sound faster.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, because I mean, for me, like in comparing to other Russian speakers that I've heard, you speak pretty fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a friend that's from Kazan.
Oh, Kazan. Oh, yeah, I know.
And he speaks very slowly when he speaks.
Oh,
I mean, not
maybe-
super slowly, but like...
Also, like, you know, it's more like warm.
Ah.
That's why maybe he just like, you know,
Ah.
enjoying his life or something.
I could see like some words you pronounce, I don't know which words specifically, but they sound like you're speaking just like, and that could sound like Portuguese.
Okay. When you don't really like hear the actual word itself, you can just like guess that, oh, it sounds like something in Portuguese, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If I didn't understand Portuguese, I could be like, okay, maybe she's speaking Portuguese. Someone who's speaking Portuguese really fast could speak like you, I think.
But for me too, like when you were talking, I think if I would hear these kind of sounds on the radio, like, oh, maybe it's Russian, but I'm not sure though.
Ah.
But when you try to, you know, listen to it more clearly, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
it's still like just the sounds, but I don't know, like maybe we have like similar words, but
That, yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure.
true, I guess. More impressive to me is really like how you can pronounce Portuguese words so well.
But actually, I also wanted to ask, when Portuguese, like people from Portuguese, when they speak English, do they usually have an accent? Because you know, like Russian accent is kind of
It's a thing.
yeah, it's like a worldwide thing.
The
like,
Russian accent.
Because like you don't really have an accent, so I'm not sure if.
I think there can be an accent, but also at the same time, because Portugal is a small country, whenever we have like, let's say a movie come to Portugal, there's no real like dubbing.
Oh, there is no dubbing.
Yeah, so everything is in English and then we have subtitles in Portuguese.
Oh, that's so interesting. Because I only saw this thing in Korea as well, but in my country we always have.
Dubbing.
Yeah, we always have dubbing.
Really?
We never use subtitles.
It could be certain things like that can really impact a lot, because if you grow up
actually,
listening to
that's
English,
true.
then you know how babies are crazy and learn like languages super easy.
Yeah, like it's really fast for them.
If you listen to English like growing up as a kid, I think you can pronounce.
Yeah, then probably you will have like the good pronunciation as well.
But also at the same time, I've like the older generation, they do have like a kind of like a Portuguese accent. It's similar to like the Italian accent or like the Spanish accent a little bit.
A little bit.
Wait, let me see if I can do it.
Can you?
I mean, I think they say things like with a lot of intonation. They would go like, "Hello, my name is Miguel."
Yeah, like this, like you know, like put the Italian accent on the English.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of similar, but this is only like my mom speaks a little bit like this. She would go
okay.
like, "Hello, what's your name? Like, how are you? How are you?"
Now I see. I also think like for me too, when I hear a lot of like Russians when they speak English, like most of them, I think they have like the accent, you know.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you can definitely understand. Oh,
They're Russian.
she or he's from Russia.
Yeah. In Portuguese, we say banco.
We say bank.
Ah, okay, not
Yeah,
bad.
that's similar.
It's pretty similar.
It's even similar with English.
How do you say again?
Bank.
Banco.
Bank.
We say banco.
Banco.
In Portugal, we say problema.
In Russia, we say problema.
Oh, really?
This one is really similar. It's almost the same.
Problema?
Problema.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah, I know.
And like the pronunciation too.
I think so. It sounds really similar.
Wow, it's
Oh,
exactly the
I
same.
didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. In Portugal, we say Porto.
In Russia, we say Porto.
Oh!
That's so similar. That's same, literally same.
Yeah. Wow, I've never heard like Portuguese and Russian words.
Yeah,
that
I
sound the
know.
same.
Like now, when you compare it, like you know, word by
yeah.
word, there are a lot of similarities.
I mean, it's really shocking because like we've done this before, and sometimes like the languages will have similar writing or like the word can be similar, but pronunciation is never the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Because our pronunciation is just so unique, I think. But this time is kind of crazy because
When you like hear the same words and like
the
same meaning
pronunciation is
and
the same. Yeah.
the pronunciation as well.
I think like from the other languages that I speak, like these specific words, when I compare them to like the things we just said, I think like problem, for example, in German would be like Problem.
Oh yeah, okay. It's
In
still similar?
yeah, I mean, as I said, like it sounds similar, and like if you write it down, like it's gonna be so similar.
You can understand it even
can
if you
understand
don't
it.
know like the language itself, but like this
Exactly.
kind of words.
Yeah, exactly, like Problem. But at the same time, it's different pronunciation.
Yeah, that's true.
Problema and Problem is very different.
It's really different.
Yeah, although like it can sound the same for other people, but what I found to be like very interesting is how like we sound the same, but we pronounce it the same too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
true.
very
That's
unique.
a difference.
In Portugal, we say taxi.
In Russia, we say taxi.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can hear a little bit of like the stereotypical Russian, like
Taxi. Yeah, I think so. This one is a perfect example like for the language itself.
yeah.
Taxi.
Yeah. In Portugal, we say photo.
In Russia, we say photo.
Oh.
We literally like say it the
Say the
same
same
way.
thing, yeah.
There is a like you know like a longer word for it.
For us, it's fotografia.
Oh, fotografia.
Oh,
okay,
really?
okay, yeah, it's same.
Yeah.
This one is same.
Okay, now I'm starting to get more convinced.
Yeah, for me too. Now I see why people like you know found the similarities between them.
Yeah. New. Okay, in Portugal, we say novo.
In Russia, we say novi.
No, wait. Okay,
But there is a difference when we say it for like female and a male.
Ah, yeah, for
There
us
is
too.
a difference like at the end of the sentence.
How is it the difference?
For women, novaya. For men, novi.
We have
Novaya, novi.
We have also both. We have nova and novo.
Do you have the one for like things as well?
Depends on the gender of the word.
Yeah, because we also have like there is also one version. For example, like a coat. we say novoje, novoje.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so like there are three ways how to say this word, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Same. Oh, this is also kind of similar, you know.
Yeah, and like the way you guys distinguish.
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't
true.
know many other languages did that.
For me too, I didn't know that. But I think in French they also have a lot of, you know,
Yeah.
like changing.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something that I've heard like 1,000 times in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound like Russian. Are you Russian? Or like,
Oh really? I didn't
yeah,
know
or
that.
I've heard 1,000 times like, oh, Portuguese sounds like a drunk Russian speaking Spanish.
Oh, that's so funny actually.
Really, I don't know. You guys don't get. I mean, yeah, of course, because we're the smaller country. So I think
Yeah.
because more people recognize Russian, like they say this a lot to me. Really, I've heard this so many times in my
That's so
life.
funny.
And I've never seen anyone talking about this, like why it is that people think this.
Yes,
so it was
right.
so interesting because before I actually didn't think that it sounds similar because I don't know. I understand Portuguese and I don't understand Russian.
Yeah.
So
Right.
for me, it's like they're speaking a whole different
yeah.
thing. But I mean, the sounds being similar and some words being similar really makes me believe a little bit that, okay, maybe other people
That's
are not
true.
making things up.
Because like for me too, I also feel like, you know, the pronunciation itself is kind of similar and the alphabet as well. But you actually talk, you know, when you speak to someone in your language, it doesn't really sound similar to Russian. But when we talk today and like, you know, compare the words, like the same words with the same meaning and like they even sound similar, like really similar. That's why I can see why some people maybe compare them, you know.
But you've never heard this before.
I never heard this before, and also like, you know, I never was compared to Portuguese, you know, like because like
Really?
the Russian accent, maybe there are a lot of like Russian accent in other languages because like we have like a lot of sounds that are similar to other languages as well. That's why I don't know, but from what I've heard today, it's really similar though.
I mean, it's interesting that you never heard it before when for me it's like such a big thing. Do you think it's true?
I mean, it kind of can be true because like, you know, when Russian people, when they're drunk and they cannot pronounce like words properly, you know, the pronunciation itself is not that easy.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe they can be just like, oh, I don't know, and then it kind of maybe sounds similar like Portuguese, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that was fun though.
Today we talked about a very important topic for my language, which is why Portuguese and Russian sound so similar.
If you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment down below.
We'll see you next time. Bye.